Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Kim, and in my EDAD 504 course, Organizational Leadership, my students have the opportunity to actually attend some governance meetings. So afterwards, they create an educational governance report. One meeting is a school board meeting, and another one is of their choice. It could be a school site meeting, ELAC, and students have the opportunity, first of all, describe what it is that they saw, but also in their minds, if they could change something, make it more democratic, what are some things that they might do? And so I'm going to have Jennifer Rasic go ahead and tell her story.
Hi, EDAD 504 classmates. Thank you so much for watching my vlog about my educational governance report. I attended a Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District board meeting, and I also attended a school site council meeting at my school, Golden Elementary. In terms of the board meeting, a quick summary. The attendance at the board meeting included our board members and district administrators. Specifically for the district administrators, our executive cabinet sits up with the superintendent at the front of the room with the board. And then we had several directors from district departments at the meeting. There were several educators in addition to that. We had a lot of teachers who were present. There were some principals who were in the room, and our Apple president and some representatives. And Apple is our union, our local union. There were also several community members. There were parents, there were students, some high school students were in attendance and spoke. And then there were others, some retired teachers, just general community members who like to participate in the board meetings and be present. The agenda included our closed session, which takes care of a lot of the personnel issues and some matters that need privacy and confidentiality. Then there's a brief report from that. Then we go into public comment where anyone can fill out a card and have their 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how many people are sharing. And there is no response from the board at this time. Then the board report is also on the agenda. Then there are action items, things that we need the board to vote on, to discuss, to take action on, followed by consent calendars by department. And those are clustered items of actions that they would like the board to take, or that they've already taken and they just needed approval for budget expenditures and such. For the school site council, the attendance, it was a much smaller meeting. We have our principal, our assistant principal. There are 3 teachers, and one of those teachers is the SIPSA coordinator. And then there are 3 parent representatives who are in attendance as well. They happen to be the same 3 parent reps who were on last year's school site council. None of them had turned out yet, and they all chose to return. The agenda included a review of policies, just to make sure everybody understands, a review of last year's goals and the results of our work towards those goals and our progress, a proposed budget for this current year. Also on the agenda, there was opportunity for input and then a few short reports from ELAC, DLAC, and PBIS. So the proceedings, how did the meetings run? The school board meeting wasn't as spicy as school board meetings have been in the past. Both meetings had posted agendas. Agendas are posted ahead of time. People have an opportunity to review them. They have an established order of business, and they also both followed parliamentary procedure. So there's a lot of structure to the meetings. Decisions that were made. The school board made several decisions on expenditures, on personnel. All administrative positions are approved by the board. And then also representation of board members for different community events and positions in the community. The school site council decisions that were made included approving the agenda, approving the officers, nominating and then approving the officers, and then approval of the site budget, of the proposed site budget for the year. The elevated voices in the school board meeting, really anyone could have chosen to be elevated by participating in public comment as long as they kept it civil and followed the civility policy that was clearly communicated. And the board member reports, they've been getting longer and longer over the years. And so each board member has as much time, I believe, as they would like to share what they've been participating in and the actions that they've taken since the previous board meeting. The superintendent also has an elevated voice and spoke several times throughout the meeting, and has his superintendent report as well, right after the board member reports. And then district administrators who had large proposals or things that needed to be clearly communicated to the board and to the public before approval for different programs and expenditures. At the school site council meeting, the elevated voices were the SIPSA coordinator, elevated in the way that she kept the meeting going along. She kept it organized. She made sure that there was clarity and focus in the meeting. The principal and assistant principal's voices were elevated in the content of the meeting when they were asked to explain and provide background for different aspects of the school governance. And questions were encouraged. So everybody in the room spoke during the school site council meeting. And there was cordial dialogue, a lot of questions, curiosity was encouraged. My final reflection on the similarities and differences between the meetings are that the similarities, it was great to see so many people actively engaged in public education. So I appreciated that. Everybody also came into both meetings with perspectives. Those perspectives might have been very different from each other, but everybody comes in with their lens and their experience, and that needs to be valued. The structure of the two meetings, as I said earlier, was also similar, that they follow parliamentary procedure. The differences were interesting. Some people come into the school board meeting with more platforms and agendas versus our school state council, where they come in, really the people who are present are looking to do what's best for the school community. The locations and the scope of influence also are incredibly different. One is much more formal, the school board meeting, and the scope of influence, maybe not necessarily the impact, but the scope of influence is definitely different between the two. And then the school board meeting, even though it was a very civil experience this time, there is a tension in the room. We don't know what's coming. It's a little unpredictable and people are unsure at times, versus the curiosity that was encouraged and inspired in the school site council meeting. So it was a wonderful experience to compare the two and to attend. Thank you so much for watching my vlog.